Hey y'all, this is Bishop Lamor Whitehead, and I'm checking out all hip hop.
What's going on, world? It's your man Chuck Creekmer, aka Jigsaw, here at One World Studios in Midtown Manhattan. We are here with Bishop Lamor Whitehead. How you doing, my brother?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for pulling up, man. We I saw you with Lisa Evers, and I said, oh snap, Lisa Evers, that's my people. So let me see what's going on if I can reach out. And so enough, I knew your publicist, I knew Lisa, so we just made it happen.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Lisa, that's good people.
Yeah, definitely. So first, well, you know what? I'm starting this interview off a little bit different.
Right.
We're gonna get into everything, but I'm gonna start off where I usually end interviews. Okay. I want to know who your top 5 dead or alive rappers are.
Oh.
I want to say I'm gonna start off where I would normally finish.
Oh, all right. Number 1, Biggie.
Okay, Biggie, Brooklyn. All right,
yeah.
cool.
Jay. So they tied.
Okay, so they tied. That's cool. We've done that before. Bobby Shmurda did that too.
Yeah, they tied.
So we let that.
Jay and Big, same thing.
Yeah.
Tupac.
Okay. Why Pac, man? New York kind of didn't we weren't really feeling Pac back then.
Pac was the lyricist, man.
Yeah.
Pac was ill, man. I love Pac, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when it's, sometimes you're driving down the West Side Highway, at night you want to hear a little Pac.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's 3.
Pac used to have me hanging out the window, like, you know what I mean? Like, early 2000s after he passed.
Jadakiss.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah. Jadakiss.
Today's the Locks Day, by the way. This is 1 year anniversary.
Oh wow.
Of the Versus battle.
Oh wow.
Today, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
We call it Kiss Rebirth Day because it seemed like he just.
Oh, what he did to them, right? Oh, that was. Ooh.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah. So.
And Nas.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, 5.
Well, that you condensed.
That's it. So I got one more. And Warren G. Yeah.
Okay. Now, first of all, I was just talking about Warren G a couple of weeks ago. Somebody was kind of talking slick. I said, hold up. You can't talk slick about Warren G. He got joints from this year actually. Yeah. Ty Dolla $igns. But tell us why Warren G. He's a good guy too.
Yeah, Warren G is one of my good friends. I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Okay.
But Warren G, I love his style, but he is one of the realest people you've ever met.
Yeah.
I'm talking about his heart is just pure.
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
laid back.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't look at him as a punk or a sucker. He just real. I met him. I gotta also say my cousin too, Foxy Brown.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah. So she's up there with the number 1.
Yeah, I love Fox.
Right. But we was in LA and we was at the video shoot, Hot Spot.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Spot, Fox, that one.
Yeah.
So we was there and Warren pulled up and he had a BMW, I believe. And it was like tricked out in the back.
Yeah.
He had a speaker. They did like he ripped out his seats and had the speakers in the back.
Okay.
And he came in there bumping. So he pulled up. And we just clicked, we just hit it off. And every time he came to New York, we would talk and we would just kick it. He's a really dope dude.
Good dude.
Yeah.
In fact, he told us one time that he helped or tried to squash the stuff between Big and
I believe that.
And Pac. Yeah.
I don't know personally, but
people try to say, I was like, he would be the guy to do that.
Yeah, his style is different, Yeah, his style is real different, real pure guy, man. Real pure. Yeah.
Definitely. Shout out to Warren G. He invited me to his house. Whenever I don't really do that too much, but I say, he's the type of dude
he's a good guy, man. Yeah. And if I had a 6, it'll be Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Snoop's, man. I went viral, sort of viral, like a week ago. Not yet viral. You know what I mean? Like viral light. But I said, Snoop's like the most famous rapper.
Yeah, yes, he is.
I think he is.
You know the crazy thing about that? I was in D.C. at the All-Star game. I don't know what year this was. And I was sitting in the VIP area with Snoop and Warren, and we was all up there, and Mike Tyson, and all of us were together, and we went downstairs, and it was me, Snoop, and I think Mike Tyson. Everybody ran to Snoop.
Yeah.
I said, you ain't even got an album out.
Right.
It was. It blew my mind.
Yeah, nah. Yeah. He's that guy. He's that guy.
Yeah.
All right, so first things first, man. It's been 8 days since 3 people ran into your church, armed gunmen. First of all, I just want to ask, how are you doing? How's your family doing? How's the congregation?
We're still going through a lot, man. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Before I moved to East New York, and I also lived in Langston Hughes Projects in Brownsville. Okay. So I'm used to the aggressiveness and unfortunately the violence. And but this one right here that did something different to me, right? It was I started to study about trauma. And I wanted to get more information on what I was feeling. And trauma deals with anxiety, deals with stress, it deals with confusion, it deals with all type of irregularities in a human's body, right? In a human's mind, right? So it's like it's a shock, right? It's a shock wave. So I had to really take a seat back and say, okay, cool, tough guy, relax, put your tough guy back, and let's find out what your heart is feeling in your mind. Right. And how I did that, I started to look at my wife, and she's still crying. For a gunman to have a gun in my 8-month-old daughter's face, in her arms, and I'm sitting there looking at it on the floor. And then to hear from other staff of my ministry, I have a lot of women in my church, and just hearing them saying that they cried every day, and people didn't want to come to church, so I began to sit back and pray and just try to ask for understanding of what actually has taken place. Not physically, because nobody was injured. Well, one of my deaconess was injured. She broke her foot when everybody was diving on the floor. Okay. But outside of her, nobody was injured via violence. Okay. But I had to get an understanding of where my people was. The trauma, the hurt, and just the disregard for church, right? Like where we grew up, like, you can't do that, man. Like, church, my grandma go to church, my mama go to church. That's off limits. So absolutely, So we just dealing with that part, right, and getting an understanding as to the trauma. So to answer your question, I'm going through. I always tell my church, a leader must lead while bleeding. Right. So even though I'm leaking all over the place, I still have to lead. And I can't speak with my emotions. I have to be able to respond correctly. So seeing all of these things, to answer your question, we're going through. We're going through. I've been paying for what do you call it? Therapy for my church. They're gonna have another therapeutic visit this week. Last week we did it. This week we're gonna do it again. Because the children, my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, only 2 of my kids was there. I have 4 kids, so only 2 was there on that day, my 14-year-old and my 8-month-old. But my 14-year-old daughter, she doesn't even want to wear her earrings that I bought her anymore, because she's afraid that somebody's going to try to take it. She took off her designer sneakers. She said, I don't want to wear it, because she's afraid, because she can't understand how people would disrespect the church. And not, and even wherever you get robbed is a disrespect and is a violation. And that would scare anybody. But for it to be in the house of the Lord, that's just different. So computing, we're in God's house and we're saying, well, God is going to protect us, and we're looking at in our natural mind that nothing is going to happen in God's house. And I told my church, I said, well, something happened, but the Bible says in Isaiah, God says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Right. So the weapon was formed, but it didn't prosper. Right. So I'm praising God for that. I'm praising Jesus for that. So that's the element that I'm in. I'm looking at the good part, because y'all could have been playing at my funeral. I was one of the known bishops in the world already, but now it just have exemplified. So you could have been playing at my funeral. I thank God that I'm still here.
Do you think they targeted you? They call you the flashy preacher, things of that nature. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not totally familiar with you, but I am, based on some of the appearances in hip hop, Biz Markie, Black Rob, and things of that nature. But do you think they targeted you because of that, or why would they target your church?
Well, I don't think it's they call me the hip hop bishop because my ministry is curtailed to bridge the gap between the streets and the church. and politics and the streets,
Yeah.
and politics and the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we as a culture, we don't know about church, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like we don't know about church. So what we serve is our grandmother's God, our mother's God. You know what I mean? We don't serve God for ourselves,
right?
Because we don't get to know God, because we don't think that we're good enough because of the lifestyle we live,
right,
and the lifestyle we have to come up to be. So that's what my church represents, that you can know God for yourself.
Right.
I believe that. Well, and then I did Biz Markie's funeral.
Yeah, I was there.
I spoke at Black Rob's funeral, and they call me the hip hop bishop because I deal with a lot of industry, and I have a lot of mentees, Fabio Foreign, and a whole lot of these young guys that's Dusty Locane, a lot of these young guys, and 50 Cent. He got saved in my ministry.
Get out of here.
Yeah, man.
Did he say about you? Was it you? He said somebody, if the church was more like this.
Yes.
I would. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't put the clip up because I'm very personable. I think that somebody put a clip up of him saying how he was affected by my ministry.
Right.
But I don't really put certain people's personal things up.
Yeah.
Because I like to protect their integrity.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said that, and everybody said, well, 50 posted you too, Bishop. You're not mad? I said, 50's 50, man. Like, 50's a comedian. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
So he gonna put it out there. He didn't say anything disrespectful.
Yeah.
But if I'm trending #1 around the world, why not?
He gonna jump on it.
Yeah, he didn't say nothing bad. Yeah. He posted it up and he said something. So that's 50. It is what it is. You got to know. He's still a brother of mine. It is what it is. But
you didn't call him though. You was like, hey, come on, Fifth. Why?
Nah, I ain't call him. That's 50 gonna be 50. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. I like to let people be who they are. Yeah. Now, if he would have said something derogatory about me, I'd be like, yo, Fifth, what up? What's going on? But I just saw him. I just saw him Saturday.
Really?
Yeah. He was at Coney Island, the art wall.
Oh, okay.
And he performed, and I went up there just to say what's up to him or whatever. I said, I'm gonna go check 55 out, And I went there and came and said, look at the Rev. I said, what's up? I said, what's going on? What we gonna get together? So he started laughing. I said, I'm out. Yeah. And he was taking pictures, and before you know it, I was all over the place with that. But and they say, you're a bishop. Why are you at a lot of these urban things? But that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to. If somebody see me, I might be the only Jesus or representation of Jesus that anybody will ever know. So why not be amongst the hip hop community, right? Why do we have to wait for them to come to us? Why can't we go to them? I'm hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I was doing an interview with Fat Joe yesterday, and he said, eventually I want to be a preacher. I said, what?
Fat Joe said that?
All right, Joe. Yeah, I said, all right. Because Joe did a live about me. Yeah. And my people called, and there was some controversy with some things, and so I called. And I said, yo, have Joe call me. He called me. He said, yo, Bishop, man, you my guy. I said, I know, man. I said, that's when they called me. He said, nah. He said, let's go live. He said, I'm going out of the country. He said, Monday, let's go live. But I couldn't do it Monday because I had so many other interviews. Yeah. And we did it yesterday. Okay. And he said, yeah, man. He said, eventually I want to be a preacher. I said, all right. I said, all right.
Fat Joe Crack, the Reverend Fat Joe Crack.
But that's the part. Yeah. That's the part. If they don't have someone to look at to say, well, if he could do it, I could do it. Yeah. Then who's going to do it? Yeah. Because tradition is so far from us, this generation. Yeah, you know what I mean? We don't wear baggy suits no more. Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? We don't wear baggy suits. We don't do the same things. So therefore, I like to be relatable. So they call me the hip hop bishop, and I don't think that because they call me the hip hop bishop, they did that because I've always been. You know what I mean? I've always been for years. I've been doing. I do a lot. I do this thing called the Church Honors Hip Hop. Okay. Where I honor a lot of industry people. Okay. And give them awards and citations from the political world. You know what I mean? So citations that they would never get, acknowledgments that they would never get. Right. I would do it myself. And bridge the gap. So I think that I was targeted because I don't know if you know that I turned in the young man that allegedly killed the man on the Q train.
Yeah, I read about that.
Read about it. So that was national news as well. Yeah. And their family called me one morning, and I was already getting dressed for the day and everything, and they called me and said, Bishop, man, we need your help. I said, what's going on? And they said, did you hear about the shooting on the train? I said, no, I didn't hear, because I was out of town. And they said, well, my nephew is plastered all over the place and I need help. So I said, okay. I said, well, tell me more about it. And so they told me more about it. I said, I'm gonna call you back. So I Googled it, looked at it. I called them back. I said, okay, the young man has to turn himself in. So let's talk. Let's all have a conversation, and so he could turn himself in. So they said, okay, cool. So they agreed. So I reached out to the mayor. So the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, that's my mentor.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him. I told him what's going on. He said, all right, cool. Let me know what you need. So I said, I'll keep you up to speed. So I called some chiefs of police and some commissioners and let them know, look, I'm in contact with the alleged murderer, murderer's family. I didn't speak to him. And I said that, I convinced them that to turn them in. So they said, okay. So we get back to conversating, me and the family, and they said that they wanted to put their attorney on, right? So they had a legal aid representation. Yeah. So I said, okay. I said, now you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? I'm being honest with you. I said, you get what you pay for. I said, if you have a legal aid attorney and you can afford a real attorney, get a real attorney. Yeah. But they wanted to stick with the legal aid. So I said, no problem. So I got on the phone with the legal aid, and she was saying, well, I want him to come to me downtown Manhattan. Now, I never knew where they was. I never knew where they was.
They were holding them.
They was holding them. Yeah, hiding them, because they were kicking in doors left and right. She kept calling, oh, they just kicked in another door. So they was finding out different addresses, and they was kicking in doors. The marshals, everybody was looking for this boy. So so she was afraid. So I told the lawyer, I said, they're kicking in doors, okay? Right. And I said, I already let them know that I'm going to bring him in, and he's going to be safe. Because at the end of the day, my father was beaten, strangled to death by 16 police officers because of the color of his skin. Wow. I was illegally convicted, sent away to prison for 11 1/3 to 34 years, but I got a reversal and I got home in 6 years. So I understand that we don't even have to do nothing to get killed. Yeah. So this young man has already an allegation that he killed someone. Right. So therefore my thing was, okay, if he did, I don't want him to kill nobody else. And and either way you put it, he's a black man, I don't want him to die. So they said, okay, well, we'll meet you at the 5th precinct. We'll let you know when we get around there so you can meet us. No problem. I'm calling them, didn't hear from them. I got a text. They said, sorry that we didn't pick up the phone, but we were driving. We didn't want to get pulled over. But would meet us at the attorney's office. So they must have let the attorney convince them to go down there. Right. So I said, all right, no problem. So I go over there, but the police, because I told them, I said, y'all got to be careful, because I believe that the police going to be watching them too. Because the attorney tried to set it up, but she was unsuccessful with her client. Right. They didn't really want to do it, as per my understanding. So she convinced him to go down there. So I met them over there. And when I met them over there and he got out the car, boom, got him. They all jumped out. Yeah. I didn't know that they was watching. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then so that's what Joe asked me. He said, yo, it seems like everybody was saying that you was clout chasing because you set up a surrender, but you didn't surrender. You still did the press conference. I said, yeah, I still did the press conference because he would have never came down, period, if it wasn't for me. Yeah. Number one. And if they would have listened to me, it would have went smoother. So to answer your question in fullness, the media started to put the Bling Bling Bishop. Okay, gotcha. And they had, I own a Rolls Royce Cullinan, and they start plastering that everywhere. Right. And I had a Fendi jacket on. So I said, so they saying, look, he had a Fendi jacket, he had this, not this one right here. Yeah. But, but because people always say my style, or why do I wear this? Because I want to. Yeah. Right? Why can't I? Because I'm a preacher? Right. But anyway, so I said, am I supposed to have taken off my clothes and put on my clergy attire when I didn't have no time to do that? I had to get right to work. You know what I'm saying? So now you guys are going to beat me up for what I wore. I said, what if a firefighter saw a fire, right? And he couldn't put on his fire suit. Right. And he don't save the people, or he went to save the people, but he had a Fendi jacket on. Right. Are y'all going to ridicule him? Yeah. I said, what if a police officer didn't have his vest and his shield and everything, but he still saved the day? But he had a Fendi jacket on. I said, but since me, right, you want to, so that's what happened. I feel that I was targeted based off of what the media portrayed. Right. And I feel like even now they're doing it, right? Yeah. All of the talk is about Bishop Whitehead and the lavish lifestyle that I look, that I live, and nobody's talking about the trauma of my church. Yeah. Nobody's talking about the victimization of my church and how 3 armed men came in and had a gun to my head, you know? So I think that I was targeted that way.
From the media.
Yeah, the media and their portrayal, because the narration.
Yeah, well, they control the spin.
That's it.
In a lot of instances. But I have seen people on social media, black folks, say, yo, he's wearing this Gucci suit, Balenciaga. I thought it was watermarks. You know what I'm saying? When I looked at it, I was like, man, he got watermarks on his suit. What's it? And then I saw that, zoomed in, it's Balenciaga. Yeah. So there are people out there that feel a way as well. Do you think that's just old school, or is it? And I will on the flip side, I have seen people in defense of you as well, saying, you're an inspiration, and why can't he? Why should what I mean? Like that type of thing. So I've seen a little bit of both.
I think that there's a stigma, right, that preachers rob the church.
Yeah.
Right. It's been and it comes from our childhood, when we see our grandmothers so dedicated to the church, our mothers so dedicated to the church, but we know that our parents struggle. But yet, if we go to church, we know we don't really understand tithes. We don't really understand, seeds and sowing. So therefore, we feel that the preacher's taking the money, right? And how is the preacher doing so good? How is the preacher doing so good? But how's the preacher doing so good, but we're doing so bad, right? And like I tell people that I study the Bible. I'm a theologian, right? And the Bible says in Genesis that there were 4 streams in the Garden of Eden. So I always say that you have to have at least 4 streams of income. Now I'm into investment, right? I don't take a salary from my church.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that should kill all of that, right? I don't take a salary from my church. Okay. I'm into investment. I invest into a lot of different things, but I'm a big, heavy investor in real estate. Okay. Right. So I own blocks. Right. I own complexes. Right. And so I'm an entrepreneur by heart.
Okay.
I do free real estate classes. Okay. And if some of your viewers want to email, I'm going to be doing a class probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if they want to sign up, it's realestate@lotim.org, right? Gotcha. I teach classes that are worth $5,000 for free. Okay. Right? Because my thing is, why should I be the only one that own property and know how to get property and understand the schematics of property, right? So, when they see me in the designer wear, immediately, right, they look at me as if they were in the position I'm in. Right. Which means if you are a criminal, if you are not right, then you're looking at me on how you would use that power.
You think that, though?
I think so.
Really?
I think so, because at the end of the day, smart people will give me a chance and really check me out. Okay. And then smart people will look at my preaching style, my delivery, my ministry. Right. And if you look and study my preaching, I don't ask for money. Right. Right? Okay. So you're connecting me with preachers that say, well, God says that you are going to, if you give me $1,000, that you're going to get a house. Right. If you get, I don't do that. Gotcha. All you have to do is follow my ministry. I'm a teacher. Okay. I teach the word of God. And then at the end of my sermons, I say, okay, cool. You can sow a seed and you can tithe. It's up to you. Got it. There's no push. So at the end of the day, before people say that I'm robbing anybody, look at my ministry. Yeah. Right? And I think that everybody has painted me as something that they saw, but I'm not, because they haven't seen me. So all they see is the designer wear, a nice car, or whatever the case may be, and they presume or assume that I'm getting this from poor people. And I was on live with Joe yesterday. They were saying, well, they say that you're in a poor community, and why are you wearing this? First of all, I'm in Canarsie, Brooklyn. It's not poor over there. Got it. That's number one. There are more houses, residential houses, than anything over there. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, if it was poor, why should not I encourage people to go higher, to think higher, right? And my church is not poor. I have young people that own houses. They own their own cars. Yeah. They own their own businesses. They wear their Gucci. They wear their red bottoms. So everybody looks at me. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you're following, with all due respect, a preacher that is not successful, then you have to say, okay, cool. How far can I go?
Yeah.
Right? Because if your leader is not pushing you to go further than them, or they just preaching to you the word of God, but they are not showing you what God has done in their life, mm-hmm. I'm going to question that.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I want y'all to see what God's done in my life.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So I like nice things.
Yeah.
Period. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to wear nice things.
Got you.
So that's
my friend, the one that I told you about, she said, well, ask him, tell him Jesus was a socialist. He shared, and he, his position was, one of a giver.
Right. That's an amazing
Does he
question.
give back?
Do I give back, huh? Google me.
Okay.
Google me.
That's okay? Where the facts come.
That's where the fact. YouTube me.
Yeah.
I give away. Let me tell you something. When Thanksgiving time come and Christmas time come, everybody call me.
Right.
Because of my give backs.
Got you.
To date, I've given away maybe a guesstimation 9,000 turkeys.
Okay.
Clothes.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of dollars of clothes and toys for Christmas. Right.
Right.
Last year, I fed for Thanksgiving 30 families.
Okay.
I gave them a spending limit of, I think, $350 or $400 a piece.
Gotcha.
The year before that, for Thanksgiving, I shut down a whole grocery store.
Okay.
And said, y'all buy what you want to buy. The limit is 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
They still were shopping. I moved the limit to 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My give backs are crazy.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Nobody has done the research about my give backs. Yeah. Right. But all of the celebrities know, because you want to know why? I invite them.
Yeah.
I invite all the celebrities. Me and Ralph McDaniels, Uncle Ralph. Yeah, that's my guy. We do a lot of stuff together.
That's a good cosign.
Yeah, man. Ask Ralph, man. Me and Ralph do a lot of things together. But I do a lot of things with all of the artists, right? Okay. So I give back all the time. Right. I do gang walks, stop the violence. I'm actually about to do a huge gun buyback to get guns off the streets.
Okay.
I'm looking to do that at the end of this month. I do a lot.
You said a gun buyback, but you said you wanted the preachers to have the guns too, legally.
The gun buyback is for illegal guns.
Ah, okay, got you.
Yeah,
got you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's for illegal guns, not legal guns.
Right.
And the reason why I asked for the elected officials to pass a law for pastors and clergy to be able to have permits is because people are running into the church saying, okay, cool, I need $1. Let me run into here because we know there ain't no guns in here. And we know that people are forgiving. And let me just make everybody get down. Let me get a buck and let me leave. Because smaller churches don't have money to hire security. And then you can't lock the church doors. Right. What, you going to have a metal detector now?
Right.
But if they know that the church will shoot back, then they're going to question if they're going to go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now, your friend, Eric Adams, he shot it down.
Yeah, I see that.
I thought you might get some favor.
No, you know what? We didn't have a conversation. So, he said no already, but we didn't talk about it.
Right.
Listen, I respect Eric.
Yeah.
And for whatever reasons he said no, I think he'd still be open for a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him haven't conversated about that.
Yeah.
They caught me with the I think they asked me a question or whatever the case may be, but I didn't discuss that with him yet. Okay. So, but I'm going to discuss it with him.
All right.
I'm like, Dad, you gave me a hard no, man. What's going on?
Right, a hard no.
No, I said, all right, hold up now.
Right.
I took it as a mentor. He talked to me. No, I'm like, right, let me talk about it.
Yeah. What do you say to people who believe this was a staged robbery for insurance or whatever?
Once again, the narrative that was painted.
Yeah.
He was convicted of grand larceny, schemes to defraud, identity theft. And the funny thing about it, right? That I'm waiting for the opportunity to have a platform to show the world how I was illegally set up and convicted. So everybody is sitting here ostracizing me because of my past, but they don't know that I got fake search warrants from the detectives they never turned over to us.
Okay.
All type of illegal things that they've done
Right.
against me, you know what I mean, to get me this prison sentence, right?
Mhm.
So people don't know that story, right?
Yeah.
They don't know that I got affidavits from attorneys stating that the district attorney hid evidence from them,
Right.
so therefore I can get convicted, right? They don't know
Yeah.
that. They don't know that I was sentenced to crimes that I was found not guilty of. See, they don't know none of that. Once again, perception,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And that's why I thank you guys for having me. So therefore, you're giving me an opportunity to speak about these things, because see, the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10, the Bible says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. I don't wrestle against you. But we wrestle against spirits and principalities and high places. So if you don't understand a spiritual warfare, then you're going to fleshly hate me.
Right.
But this is a spiritual battle.
Gotcha.
Right? This is a spiritual battle. So at the end of the day, the only way that you can stop a demonic spirit from doing what they're doing now is prayer. But if so everybody that's talking about this, I know that they're not connected spiritually because they're looking fleshly with their eyes. So the media sets up a whole perception. Right? Because I always teach, right? Everything starts with time. The Bible teaches us that the Bible says in Isaiah 46:10, it says, God says, I made the end before the beginning, which means time, that's why time can't stop. Time has to catch up to the end, what God made. Now, if we epitomize time, what is time? Time means space that matters. So whoever you have placed in your space that matters in your life will control your time. And space and time, space that matters create events. Right. And this is why, and this is where our experiences come from. So therefore, if we have a culture that is used to people backbiting, stealing, betraying people, and they have allowed their space that matters to consist of a time that created events with bad experiences of people that get over on people, then how do you think they're going to see me?
Yeah, that's true. So
it's a cultural thing, right? So why would I put my children, my family, my church in harm's way, right? Right. And so there was over 10 to, I think maybe 15 pieces. I'm not sure. Don't quote me because it goes everywhere. Lord Jesus. Whatever I say goes everywhere right now. But I think it was from, let's say, 10 to 15 pieces that was stolen. Right. There was a lot of new pieces that I got that I didn't get to insure. But out of those 15 pieces, only 3 things was insured.
Got it.
So I lost a lot.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I lost a lot. So just to let everybody know, like come on, right? And why would I put my family? This guy had the gun to my 8-month-old baby's face, and a gun to my head, and a gun in my wife's face, and guns on my church. Why in the world? For what? For what? For a couple of dollars?
Yeah. I don't know.
What if somebody
That's what the assumption would be, though.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because they think that I am a criminal.
Right.
They think that, okay, well, if he was arrested before, then he still has that same ideology. He still has that same mindset. But I'm not.
Right.
You know, so it's a narrative. You know, and then they go into that I took $90,000 from a parishioner. Yep. And legally, I can't really get into it, but we're already
still ongoing.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. But we already got our first victory on that. And this woman was not even a member of my church. Okay. If she wasn't a member, her son was a member of my church, but she was never a member of my church, right? So she never talking about so it's called the spirit of perversion, right? And when the enemy sends the spirit of perversion, what is the spirit of perversion? The spirit of perversion is to distort and destroy God's original intent. Gotcha. So if you look at the media, right, they all talking about me and my lifestyle instead of what happened to God's house. Right. And that's what the enemy wants to do. He wants to pervert what he did. Right. So therefore, everybody can shine a light on me. Right. Right. And I'm telling everybody, like I told Fat Joe last night. I said, Joe, we at the end of the whole interview, right? And I said, let me show you how the spirit of perversion works. I said, not one time, Joe, you asked me about the trauma of my church and my family. Right. I said, you want to know why? Because this is the hot topic, talking about Bishop Lamor Whitehead. Right. Right. Yeah. And I should not be the hot topic. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Right? My church is a victim.
Right.
And now everybody is trying to make sense of it.
Mm-hmm.
That how did somebody go into it? We don't do that. Right. They
Right.
broke every code.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. Right?
Yep.
So you couple, nobody runs into a church with, wow, he was arrested before. He got this, he got that, he got this. So let me throw something else in there. And let me throw something else in there. Let me throw something else in. So we can make this whole narrative look like something that we only can understand.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So,
on that note, do you think that the work you've done with the gangs, maybe even your affiliations with the do you think this is an inside job, maybe, like, somebody that that you've mentored or worked with?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm letting the
being close to the streets can have it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I'm outside.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all could have did that outside.
That's true.
I'm outside. I'm outside. I was in Brownsville the other day, in the projects, in the P's. Jury out. I'm outside.
Yeah.
Right? I'm outside.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm in the house.
Right.
It's not like, so at the end of the day, they knew what they were doing and they knew what they wanted to do.
Right.
And they knew that, we don't have nothing in the church. So at the end of the day, I've all of these young men, gang or whatever, they love me.
Mm-hmm.
They love me because of what I do for them. Like, they love me. And not one artist can ever say they gave me $1.
Right. Right.
I've never taken no money from the governor.
Okay.
I mean, from the government.
Right.
No PPP, no TTT, no EPT, no whatever T's, no whatever, nothing, nothing. I've never in my life have taken any money from the government.
Gotcha.
Whether it's for myself, whether it's from any of my companies, or whether it's for my church. Never. There is no records.
Gotcha. Okay?
Anything that I do is straightforward. So at the end of the day, what can they say?
Why be a preacher when you could just do the business? Why? Or you could spread the word without the burden of having the term preacher over you.
So let me ask you this, right? If you drunk spoiled milk, right? What would happen to you?
Get sick.
You get sick, right?
Yeah.
So you'll be throwing up, right? And you'll be going to the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to use that analogy.
Okay.
Right? Because you said, why do I have to be a preacher? God downloaded a word in me.
Okay.
Right? And it has to come out.
Right.
Right? And it has to come out a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was to hold the word inside of me, it would destroy me.
Gotcha.
Because the word is not for me, it's for somebody. And in order for people to understand the word that God gave me, I have to have a certain office. And that's why we have judges. They have to be certified. Right. That's why we have police. They have to be certified. And they have credentials in order to execute their profession.
Right.
So the Bible says in Isaiah chapter 6, God says, well, who shall we send? And Isaiah said, here I am, Lord, send me.
Right.
Right. So there comes a point of our life where that we have to strip what we want to do and allow God to do what he wants to do through us. Yeah. And there are a lot of us that will become preachers, right? And don't even know. Nobody could have never told me I was going to be a preacher at all. Yeah. I was a cusser. That's why I cussed somebody out the other day. Right. It brought me back. I know you're going to talk about that a little bit, but yeah, that's why a few, a few. Praise the Lord. I had to repent. So I'm gonna let you get to that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it. Well, you went off, man. You went in. That was I don't know what to call it. That was a lot. There was I don't know who they were. I know one was a heavyset woman, and the other one was, I hate to classify him, but he was, a gay male, I believe. So you used the F word, and you called her Biggie Big, Biggie Smalls, a bunch of things. And it was, it kind of hurt you because people were looking at him like, oh, kind of like,
so let me say this.
He everything we thought he was.
So let me say this. I don't think it hurt me. I think they just saw my human side.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, that's why you guys give me the platform that you're giving me now. So therefore you can hear the other side.
Yeah.
Because there's two sides to every story.
Right.
So I was receiving not inboxes. I was receiving, because I have a whole staff. So they were sending me saying, Bishop, look at what this guy's doing. Look at what this guy's doing. So they were sending me his live. So I go on the live and I'm listening and they are mocking my church.
Okay.
they're mocking me. And this guy is supposed to be a pastor too. Both of them are pastors.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all didn't know that, right?
I didn't know.
Yeah, so they both pastors. And so therefore, you should have the etiquette and the respect for the house of the Lord. And they were both mocking my church.
Right.
And one of the pastors, and I don't even want to give his name because I'm tired of, I'm not, he's been posting me and getting shine off of my name. You know how I go. But, he was mocking me. Right. And I'm watching this, and he's like, hold on, look what Bishop Whitehead did. And he laid down. He said, get out. He said that he told his church to get out, but I didn't hear it. And they laughing at the whole scenario. So I'm watching. And then he said, oh yeah. And then he said that they put the gun to his baby face. Well, I don't know, because I don't really believe that. Ha ha ha. If they did, ha ha, and laughing at this and making a mockery of the situation. Yeah. And I began to turn into the husband.
Got it.
I began to turn into the father.
Right.
I began to turn into the spiritual father that was supposed to protect my church. I became human.
Right.
I became human.
Yeah. And
when I went on there live, and I said, I'm on live, put me on. And I said, brother, I've never disrespected you. Why are y'all disrespecting me? And he's like, well, I can tell jokes, and I can do what I want to do. And I said, but why would you do this at a time like this? Yeah. I said, you're hurting my church. Yeah. I said, my wife is still startled. Like, why are y'all doing this? And he's laughing. Yeah. And I said to him, but what if it went another way? What if I would have died? What if we would have died? He said, but you didn't. So that's why we joking. And that's when boom.
Yeah, I feel you.
And that's when boom. Because now you have no regards. You have no regards for my family. Yeah. I'm watching my wife cry every day. I'm watching my daughter. My daughter didn't talk for almost 2 days. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I became human. Yeah. So if that was a negative inferences to the world, well then so be it. Because I'm human first. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I'm human first. And at the end of the day, I would think every husband and every father that understand how to protect their family and why we're here, I think that you guys would be able to co-sign that moment. Yeah. And to be technical, because I'm a word studier. Yeah. Faggot means a bag of sticks. Okay.
You're not going to try that.
Listen, hold on.
Come on now.
I'm just saying, hold on. I'm just saying, because, listen, because I wasn't coming at the LGBTQ community, right? Yeah. I wasn't, because my thing is I have people of that community that comes to my church, and right. So I don't, and when I was running for borough president, they supported me. Right. So I have nothing against them and their civil rights. You do what you want to do. You be who you want to be. Just like y'all talk about how I dress. It's my civil right to dress how I want to dress. Right. However, when my church asks me to preach, well, what does the Bible say about homosexuality? I'm going to preach the Bible.
Yeah. What does the Bible say about homosexuality?
It's an abomination. Right. An abomination means a hate to God. Okay. That's what the Bible says. Right. And that's what I preach. But that does not make me dislike them. That does not make me look like the people of that culture. Right. Right? Because that's like me saying, well, I can't go to Brownsville or I can't go to East New York because they have a culture of either get down or lay down. Right. Right? Because of where they are, or the hood, or Compton, or whatever, So at the end of the day, that's their culture. So who am I to not like what they decide? Right. That's it. That's it. So honestly, where I grew up, a faggot is a punk. Somebody that's a sucker, that do sucker stuff, right? It has nothing to do with your gender relationship preference, right? Like I'm sure.
I understand.
My uncle who raised me when my father died, he's like, you acting like a faggot, and kicked me in my behind. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, toughen up. Yeah. So it wasn't like, because I didn't know nothing about homosexuality back then. So he couldn't have been talking about that. Yeah. So, but like I said, technically, a faggot means a bag of sticks. Okay? Don't unhook me like that, man. Don't unhook me like that, man.
I'm just saying, we can't use that word now, man. Listen, it's like the N-word, almost. Not quite, but
Yeah, but I just want to explain that I wasn't going towards that because, the LGBTQ
But he is a gay man, I'm just saying. Maybe
No, it was just more punkish style. That was it. Yeah. Because look at the inferences. It was like you're sitting here and you're mocking a church that's.
No, I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Understand that.
That's a punk.
And
move.
I knew that as well. But but look, let me just say this. I grew up in the church. Had two amazing preachers. Now, again, this is the civil rights after civil rights preachers, right? So they upstanding dudes. not broke at all. Not broke. My preacher from the one who eventually passed in Virginia, he was affluent. He was doing his thing.
Right.
But he he worked in school systems, things like that. But he did his thing. And the other one was more like a Martin Luther King type of guy. Mm-hmm. But now we're in a different space, right? So we see, shout out to Mace. Mace, he's mad at all hip hop right now. He feel like we doing him wrong. But Mace is,
Can I say something about that?
What?
I know eventually me and him are gonna talk, but I have an ought against him.
What? Why?
I have a problem with him.
What's that?
How he left the church.
Okay. But he's still. Go ahead. Tell us your.
I don't know the backstory, but how he left the church, I just didn't like it.
Okay.
And I can't wait to have a conversation with him,
right?
To find out more about that, right?
But technically, he still has a church down in Georgia.
I heard that he's not pastoring anymore.
Okay.
So I don't know. That's why I said, but I know he had left at one point.
Okay.
Right? So, why you say he's mad at y'all?
Well, all the stuff around 5EO and
the
5,000 versus the 750, like all that,
Okay, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But I just, for him to leave the church.
But what did he do in your eyes when he left the church? What did he do?
When you have a testimony, right? A testimony is when you go through a test, you testify that it was you, and the testimony is that you use God to get through what you went through. And I think that his building of his church was based off his testimony, because everybody knew shiny suit wearing Mace. Thought I told you that we won't stop. We grew up to that.
Yeah.
We don't stop. I the
Definitely.
whole remix thing. And in the rap world, there's a lot of sin, right?
Understatement.
Right. In entertainment, there's a lot of sin. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of violence. So to catapult out of that arena and show the world that you just changed your life, right? It's a powerful testimony.
Yep.
People are going to draw to that. But then when you drop your testimony and turn back to what you told the people you turned from, that becomes very difficult.
Right.
I remember a young lady inboxed me when it happened, and she pretty much was saying that she's losing her mind. She said that she was a gay woman that turned straight, and when Mace closed his church, she wanted to commit suicide.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yes, and that's the weight shepherds carry.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a conversation that I want to have with him.
Yeah.
I want to know more, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like everybody jumping to conclusions and stuff like that. But I want to know more about this, because preachers, we go through a lot.
Yeah. Preachers,
we go through, and if you look at this year and last year, the suicide rate on pastors was high.
Yeah. Wow. Tell us about what you go through, what you go through, and what other preachers go through. I mean, I seen
Google right now.
Okay.
And look how people demonize me.
Yeah. No.
That's what preachers go through.
But outside of that situation, I mean,
we go through a lot, man.
Yeah.
Real preachers, because there's some preachers that have the office, but don't operate as a shepherd. See, there's a difference between being a pastor and a shepherd, right? A shepherd leads people. A shepherd protects people, right? And a shepherd leads by example, right? And I always tell my church, I'm not a good shepherd unless I smell like my sheep. And to be a shepherd, you have to carry the weight of the people. There's times that God will wake you up in the middle of the night and say, pray. Yeah. And you have to pray. Right. We've been on 5 a.m. prayer for the last.
I saw you. I was up weeks. Today. I was up.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep last night. I said, let me see what's going on.
So you was in prayer?
I jumped off, man, because I didn't want you to see me. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yo, let me get off of here, man.
Yeah. But I wouldn't have saw you because I look, but I don't even. I'm not even, because that'll throw me off. What people be saying, because they say a lot of crazy stuff. But yeah, we've been 24 weeks straight, 7 days a week, 5 a.m. prayer.
Okay.
And we took off for a few months, but I had my church on 2 years straight 5 a.m. prayer, right?
Okay.
Because I believe in prayer. So at the end of the day, we pastors, we are attacked by the devil. Because if you kill the head, you kill the body.
Right.
So therefore, there's a lot of psychological things that goes through our minds and attacks. And you have to understand that when you're leading a flock, do you know how many personalities you have to lead?
Oh, I know. I mean, it's not. I don't lead a flock like you do, but I mean a company.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what I mean? But at that, right, you lead a company, right? And you have people on payroll. Imagine nobody on payroll that you got to lead.
Right.
And they have the option to leave you.
Right.
You know, and pastors, you know, we do so many things behind the scenes, help people, take food out of our mouth, help people. And when they get good and ready, you know what they say? Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Like, so what? And it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts, and you got to deal with that.
Right.
The church is a revolving door. People can get up and walk into another church and restart all over again. So they get to wear the pastors out, beat the pastors up, talk behind their back, and get up and walk clean on out.
Somewhere else.
I've been pastoring 9 years now.
Right.
And it's been happening. I remember this family left my church because I didn't want to buy them a car.
What? A
Yeah,
car?
A car.
What? I mean, what kind of car?
I don't know.
A hoopty or a BM?
I forgot what kind of car it was, but
I'm just saying, that's crazy.
yeah.
I never heard of nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk just a little bit about. There's a lot of financial stuff on you. 50 Cent put it out there. Everybody.
What did he put out?
Well, his thing had.
Oh yeah, with I know
the properties and things of that nature. Did you want to address that and talk about that?
It's light, man. You know, when you're in real estate, man, you got to know how to manage your stuff, right? And they said, oh, he's 2 months behind a project. Well, I'm actually not, right? And, you know, what that is when you're a real estate investor, right, you know what to pay and when to pay when you want to pay, right? And if you're doing some renovations, you say, okay, cool, I'm not paying that, I'll pay this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And formality is they have to serve you certain papers. Right. That's it. You know, and the other thing I think what 50 had posted was, I think it was a lawsuit against me, a construction company that was suing me. Right. Donald Trump gets sued all the time, right? All the big real estate mongols get sued all the time. If y'all look up the lawsuits of really successful businessmen, you're going to see a lot of lawsuits, all right? Yeah. When you reach a certain level, people try to sue you. I don't know if you know. Oh,
I know. I know too well right. At this point, yeah.
Right, and if they was to look through your name, the same thing will come up. Right? So what's the difference? But you want to know what? Since Bishop Whitehead is trending around the world, #1, everybody takes on their own understanding to that. But I'm all right. I'm cool. You know? Yeah.
Talk about you and Foxy, man. Like that's Foxy, one of my favorite. I'll never forget the first time I met Foxy. It was at the BET Hurricane Relief for Katrina. And that's like that's 20 years ago. I think that's 20 years ago. Yeah. Over 20. I was so hyped. I was like, oh my God, you see my face, it's got this little zoned out look and all that. Yeah. But Foxy's one of my favorite. First of all, how's she doing, man? Like,
she's all right. She reached out to me. I didn't call her back yet. But she reached out to me. I've just been doing so much, but she is one of my favorite cousins, you know, and we have our ups and downs because I'm the big cousin, you know, and when I don't like something she do, I shut it down and I go my way. But, you know, like I said, she's if not my favorite rapper. And you know, we look at these rappers now and we like, yo, they dope, but Foxy was just different. She was just different. I can't wait for her to come back, and I'm praying that God really gives her the grace to come back. But she's cool, man, and you know, her baby C's getting big and stuff like that. So, you know, we talk, but I'm probably gonna see her this week. Okay. You know, she's very concerned. She actually texted me yesterday. You know, you know, she's doing good, man. She's doing good, and you know, I'm just praying that God really continue to bless her, so therefore she can come back out here and let them really know how to do this thing.
Yeah, we need Foxy, man.
She rapped like a dude.
I know.
Woo,
listen,
man.
She had a joint with CNN. Oh, plug this shit. Bang bang. Oh my God. That's what she was killing that Kim back in the day.
You know, right? When she did that song with Nicki Minaj, on her album. So I went with her to the studio.
Okay.
Right? I went with her to the studio, and I went and picked her up. She said, "Can you please come pick me up? You're the only one I trust." I said, "All right." I said, "Listen, you know I'm busy, all right, because she my little cousin, but she be wanting to overtake my time." And I'm like, "Here, I'm the whole Bishop. I got my whole name.
Right.
All right, you Foxy, but I'm Bishop Whitehead.
Right,
all right."
Right.
So I picked her up, and just talking to her and saying, "Look, just go hard, do what you do."
Yeah.
She went in the studio, right? Because watch this, right? I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know. I might get in trouble. I don't care.
Go ahead.
But anyway, Nicki Minaj, right? You know how people be stealing the beats? So she was so protective of her tracks. She never sent the track over to Foxy.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And she flew her DJ out.
Okay.
To the studio.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the only time Inga heard the track is when we walked in the door.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when Inga heard the track, she was like, all right. She was like, so she calls me La. Mm-hmm. Right? All my family calls me La, short for Lamar, LA.
Okay.
Right? So she's like, yo, La, you hear that? I said, yeah, that's crazy. I said, you better kill that.
Yeah.
I said, you better kill that. And she sat there and wrote right there. Right there. On the spot. And it took her literally 20 minutes.
Wow.
20 minutes. And she went in. Yeah. And I said, do you see this talent? Yeah. She was like, yo, cuz. She liked when I celebrate her because she know I get in her. I'm not that one. Like, if you do something wrong, I'm going to get at you.
Right.
And I really don't care. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I hang up on you and all that. We got that type of love. But I said, do you see that, yo? I said, do you see that?
Yeah.
She and y'all heard it.
Yeah.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. She wrote that. So all of that, Jay used to ghostwrite for her, and this. I don't know about whatever they did, but I'm telling you what I know her talent is, and I know she wrote that right there in front of me, And what every time I go to the studio, she write and she'll fold the paper up and keep it. You know what I mean? Right, I always say she write real big, like real, But I've been with her to a lot of studio sessions, and and I know her, her temperament. But I hope she come back out, man. If she come back out, woo,
yeah, man, she got to, man. It's time too, man. We celebrating our greats, our legends, our sometimes pioneers, whatever. And she is a pioneer.
Yes, she is. Yes,
she definitely.
She opened the door for the Nicki Minaj and the Cardi B's and all these other young females, man, that's doing it, man. Because Lauryn Hill opened the door for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So. Let me tell you something, man. So
yeah, definitely. You said you mentor a 5-year-old?
Yeah.
How's that relationship?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. He called me. He was talking all weekend. He was doing his international tour.
Yeah.
Once again, a lot of my mentees, they respect me a lot, right? Yeah. And when they know I'm mad at them, they duck me.
What do you get mad about?
I get mad at when they lose focus of who they are.
Okay.
Right? Because sometimes the entourage, right, will be so overwhelming that you're the one that's gonna get in trouble. Right? So, I get upset when I see a lack of focus. Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a yes man.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not on your payroll.
Right.
I don't follow you.
Right.
You follow me. I'm the bishop. Right? And you don't pay me, and I don't want anything from you, right? So at the end of the day, you look back and say, well, dang, why is he saying this? It ain't about control. He don't ask me for money. Right. That gotta be just genuine. Nobody can ever say they gave Bishop Whitehead no money.
No money.
I don't ask nobody for nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no ulterior motive. There is no misconception. There's nothing. So when I get upset, I'm like, yo, you're bugging. You're bugging. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, with me, knowing, if the police are messing with him, he'd be like, this is my bishop. And I get on, they're like, oh, Bishop, all right, we know he all right then. And I tell him like, yo, look, my name is on you, relax now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're not going to do nothing, but you might have somebody that really don't care about their name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, he's a, let me tell you something about Fabio. He's a really good kid.
Yeah, that's good.
No, literally. Yeah. I don't care what, I don't never hear really bad things. Well, sometimes I do, but he's a really, really, really good kid.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, I would say he's a knucklehead.
Yeah.
I don't got no problem saying that.
Yeah.
He's a knucklehead. You know, I'm hoping he gets like, this kid is a really good kid.
Yeah.
Really good kid.
That's good.
He ain't no punk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He about his business and he's maturing.
Right.
And that's what I talked to him about. I said, yo, be the face. Get on these commercials.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get with the Gucci's and the Louis Vuitton. Be a face. Get into movies, right? But you have to detach yourself from certain individuals. Yeah. And I always tell them, I said, to all my mentees, I said, look, everybody can't go where God has opened the door for you.
Yeah. Important.
Very important.
Yeah.
And I tell people, and I say, look, there are people that's going to shock you in this season that's going to leave you. Yeah. And don't be upset. Just understand that you were spiritually overweight. Right. And you couldn't get through that door that God opened spiritually.
Yeah. Who else do you mentor? You mentor any other people?
Dusty Locane.
Okay.
Few people I can't really say, probably wouldn't want me to put out there.
Gotcha.
Also, you know who I was mentoring for some time? Keisha Cole.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was just during a really pivotal time with her where, you know, the guy, what's the football player, AB they call him? What's the boy that played for Pittsburgh?
What's his name?
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown, yeah.
She was dating him?
Yeah, that's when that happened and he started to be disrespectful and, you know, and I was just keeping her head right. Okay. You know what I mean? Scriptures, praying. And she gave her life to the Lord through me. You know what I mean? And, you know, so, you know, we spoke here and there and stuff like that. But a lot of artists, I can't really get into all their names.
Yeah, no problem.
But a lot of artists have came to my house and sat on my couch. Mm-hmm. And I told my wife, come on, make something for them. I said, what you want? I said, I'm about to eat a turkey sandwich. Mm-hmm. When they like, wow, you live here and I eat a turkey sandwich, yes, and a little bit of Kool-Aid.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But it's nothing wrong with that with you.
You're not eating ostrich eggs or
you know? Ostrich. Let me tell you something. Sometimes
quail. What Jay-Z say? Probably eat quail.
Sometimes I eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, man. You know, I'm regular. You know, I'm regular, man. It's just like you know. So a lot, you know, and I'm thankful that they trust me. Mm-hmm. They run from me a lot. Yeah. They run from me a lot. And I'll call them, they don't pick up the phone and different things like that. And I was like, all right, okay, whatever. Yeah. I know what it is. And then when I see him, Bishop, I said, man, just stop lying. All right, stop lying. All right, what's up, man? Why you ain't call me? Oh, you know. Yeah. My bad, Bishop. My bad. No problem. I know your lifestyle. Got you. I know how it goes. Yeah. You know? And at the end of the day, that's why I dress the way I dress. So I'm like, yo, I'm one of you. I just chose to love God the way I love God and to be used by God. You don't have to be a preacher. I'm already the preacher. Yeah. Talk to me. I don't want nothing from you. Right. You know, I always tell them that. All of them will always tell you, Bishop don't want nothing from me.
Is there any status on the case? Any leads? Any what do you call it? Like motive? Like anything? Yeah. Anything yet? Yeah. So since I'm the victim, they can't tell me nothing. Really? Yeah. They don't tell me anything. Okay. You know, they don't tell me anything. You know, they are doing their job. And, you know, the thing about it, I don't know if these young men really knew who I was, because the streets love me. Right. So therefore the streets is not trying to hear you. Yeah. And the police is on you. And what could they do with that? Yeah. Bro, I don't know. Yeah. With that, because everything is heavy. Yeah. Right. Yeah, everything. And there ain't nothing they took from us was light. Right. Everything was unique. Yeah. You know, and it's just not everybody have it. You know, and one of my chains was over 100 carats. Right. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that was just one. Yeah. You know, so it's just like, what you gonna do with that? Right. You know? Yeah. Did you want to address the value? The paper says 1 million. There's been 400,000. Yeah, you know, there's been a range there. I you know, my lawyer told me don't get into that, but I really don't know. Yeah. I really don't know. And all these numbers, the media put that together. You know what I mean? Yeah. The media put that together, and that's on them. You know, it wasn't cheap stuff. Nowhere near cheap stuff. Yeah. But you know, it's very unique. The
This is my other Episcopal ring.
Now, what is this ring? Because they were talking about it, and what is it? What kind of jewel is that? A ruby?
Ruby, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and then when they saw me with this ring after the robbery, they was like, I thought you said he took it. Well, I got more than one Episcopal ring. Can I have more than one?
So that's a religious ring?
Yes.
What's the meaning of it?
So this is the red means a presiding bishop. So I'm a presiding prelate. Which means a presiding bishop, which means I'm a bishop over bishops.
Okay.
Right? So a regular bishop will have a fuchsia color ring.
Okay.
Like a fuchsia color. If you see like a fuchsia color, he's a bishop or she's a bishop, but they're just a regular bishop. Me, I have the highest authority, right? So, and then I'm also a chief apostle, right? Okay. So this is why on my garments, if you looked on my page, you see me in all red a lot of times. So that's just my episcopacy position. Okay. And then if you looked on the any videos, and you might see my long chain, gold chain, and then it's tucked right here. So that's my Episcopal cross. Okay. As a bishop, the cross always have to be over the heart of the bishop. So in all my robes, I have a pocket over my heart. Okay. Right? So that's why you don't never see really the cross. The cross is always over my heart. Sometimes you might see it out, but it's mostly over my heart, and that's how you know it's a bishop.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
what's the difference? I'm asking for myself. What's the difference between a reverend, a bishop, a pastor? What's the difference?
The denomination.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I believe the Baptist church, they call, like, if you're a minister or you're a preacher, you're a rev. Okay. They don't go higher than that. You're a reverend. Gotcha. So they don't. Don't get me cold, but it's certain denominations, they stop at reverend. Okay. Certain denominations don't deal with bishops; they deal with the apostolic episcopacy, which is apostles. Okay. And then other churches believe in bishops, that's in the Bible as well. So the apostles are in the Bible, the bishops are in the Bible. In Timothy, the apostles and the Acts of the Apostles is in the Bible. So depending upon the denomination that you're in, governs your episcopacy level, right? I'm non-denominational, but I came out of a Baptist and Pentecostal church, right? Okay. So I grew up in Pentecostal, then I got a little older and I went to a Baptist church. Okay. So I have two, they call it Baptist-Costal. They make up a joke like that. But so I am a chief apostle, which is apostle means sent by God. Okay. And I'm a chief apostle, and I'm also a presiding prelate. So that's two pieces of the fivefold ministry. So yeah.
What's the state of the black church to you? I'll say and also in the midst of COVID, like, so for example, I haven't been to church in years at this point because I've been online, but I don't really count that because it's not the same to me. But other than, all things considered, like, I feel like there's a feeling that people losing hope, losing faith. They might not believe as much, or they may look at certain preachers and feel like it's not resonating the same way. What would you say is the state of black church in general?
Well, in my ministry, I teach, right? And I am a logical preacher, right? So if you study the origin or the epistemology of linguistics, right? So linguistics is the study of language, right? Languages are how you communicate through a community, right? Right. Now, if you stop the language and the communication, right, the community is divided. Right. So I believe that if we want to talk about the black church, I believe that the black church is divided. There is a lot of African-American preachers that are jealous of other preachers, and that divides not only the church, but it divides the people. And I also believe that COVID was not supposed to keep people in the house watching online, right? But it was supposed to, it did that, but now get back into the church. And I think that since we're talking about black churches, I think that there is not enough worldly education in the church, right? So I feel that in the church we only preach Jesus, but the Bible says inherit the land. So what about having classes about stocks, bonds, real estate? See, I'm in all type of investments, stock, bonds, real estate, developing your own companies, whatever it may be, right? Being entrepreneurs, right? I challenge my church, right, to not stay comfortable. If you've been working there for that long, when are you going to get a position higher, right? When you're going to put, I can't preach to a still church.
Right.
I cannot preach to a comfortable church because you're going to do me a disservice now. Because if you're comfortable, then I'm going to get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, you get lazy and you don't want to grow, right? And I think that's the state of the black church. Because when we look at all the other communities, Asian, Caucasian, Greek, African, whatever else, right? They are advancing and they're excelling, right? Because they open the door for other things that you can do, right? So we can have all this Jesus, but if we can't use Jesus in the world, then why should we have all this Jesus, right? The Bible says that God has given us favor, right? Favor. The Bible says in the book of Job, he says, anything his hand touches was blessed, right? So how can you have all this blessing, but then don't touch nothing? How do you know you're blessed? Right? And I think then what happens is to the black church, we get religiousized, which means, well, religion means a system of belief. So now we're stuck in a system of belief, and now we're afraid to inherit the earth. So now anybody that's outside the church becomes an enemy to me because I'm in a systematic belief of religion. And I don't know how to work what the word has been taught to me out in the world. So therefore, I'm going to look at you as a heathen. So if you have blonde hair, green hair, my wife has blonde hair, right? And, you know, people have called her Jezebel. Because of the religious system. People are sending me all type of hate texts on Instagram, Facebook. Your material stuff is from the hell. How? Jesus wore royal garments. Why do you think in the Bible, when the disciples said, I think it was Judith, when they said, yo, why are you wasting all of those expensive ingredients on Jesus' feet? He said, yo, why are you doing that? And Jesus said, let them do. Right? Because, right, Jesus was of wealth. When they talk about his garments, they talk about the royal purple. If you look back in those days, those garments were very expensive. When they talk about how they washed his feet in myrrh, you can only get that high up in the hill. It was expensive. Right? So if you do, when I went to theology school, I studied about customs. I studied the customs of that day, so I could understand the language of that day, because God speaks to us through our language that we understand. You know what I'm saying? So he was wealthy. You know, he was wealthy, right? He wasn't broke. How could God be broke if he got everything? You know? So I think that the black church has became culturally angry at success. You know? So when they see success, they don't think it's for them. Because they're stuck in a religious system. Right? And when I come out, it's like, oh, you're throwing it in our face. No, I'm showing you that I'm not stuck in that system. Come get with me. Let's talk. Come on, let's talk. Let me just say something to you so you open your eyes. Let me show you how easy this real estate thing is so you can open your eyes. Let me teach you about zoning. Let me teach you about, see, every time we look, we see a building go up, and then we'll see either a Asian person or a Jewish person or somebody of other ethnicity doing that. And what we say is, you know what we do? We say, oh, shoot, they building that? Well, I can't wait to try to put in an application to live in it. What? Me, I'm like, If they can build it, I can build it.
Right.
But that's our mindset.
Right.
We're so ostracized.
Right.
So now when they see a young man, that is shooting for the stars, they have to pull me down.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore they can understand me.
Right.
And that's why they try to criminalize me, and they try to ostracize me, and they say he's not supposed to do that, because they have to bring me down to a mentality of what they can understand about me.
Right.
You understand? And I always tell them, a pigeon has wings like an eagle. But if a pigeon get anywhere to the altitude of where an eagle is, he'll die.
Yeah.
Because the air is different.
Right. Yeah. That's true. I had a question that just popped in my head just now. We've seen Kanye West do the Jesus thing. We've seen it recently. Kendrick Lamar, Nas has done it. What are your thoughts on that?
When you say the Jesus thing, tell me about that.
I'm sorry, the Jesus thing. Well, they've all represented themselves as Jesus in some form or fashion. Nas did Hate Me Now, and there was a controversy around that. Diddy and him had a big falling out. Kanye West calls himself Yeezus, literally, as his, and he's also done Jesus Walks. And then most recently, Kendrick Lamar has, I don't know if it was Tiffany's, but somebody, a diamond encrusted crown of thorns, representing something. I'm not sure, but evoking Jesus to the visually. What are your thoughts on that?
I admire their courage. However, there's more to it, right, than just putting it up there, right? And I'm actually having my team, I want them to reach out to Kanye because I want to have a conversation with him. Because I think that if he has someone that is in his best interest, I think he's very anointed, right?
Yeah.
But if he has someone in his best interest that don't want anything from him, but to help him in his endeavors with the Jesus walk, right? Because you need help.
Yeah.
You need help by an experienced person that understands you, right? And I feel that Kanye has been used, and I feel that a lot of the industry have been used, right? Like Foxy was used by so many people. I'm talking about, I seen her come up. Yeah. And I'm talking about from pastors to Puffy too, all of them been used and abused, right. And I think that if we were, our culture is so strong, man. Yeah. And I think if we take our time just to get it, right, we're gonna be so powerful, and it's gonna happen. Eventually, it's gonna happen. Right. And but like I said, Kanye and who's the other people you asked?
It was the first ones to mind were Kanye, Nas, and Kendrick.
Yeah. And I think that Nas is a very intellectual person, right? Absolutely. And very smart. And like I said, I really don't comment on people's spirituality because it's multifaceted. Like I know, so I can say and say, well, I don't like what they did that, but they might have been going through something that was crazy, right? Because it gets crazy, Yeah, I know. Me and my brother, we were sitting in the car and we saw something, and he's still bothering me about it. And he's like, "Yo, how are you so calm about this?" And I'm like, "I understand it." Right. And to this day, he's sitting over here. He's like, that's my closest. And he's like, "Yo, how are you okay with that?" Right. And I'm like, it is what it is, because I understand what we saw. You know what I mean? I understand it. So therefore, like I said, doing this walk with Christ, you're going to see certain things that if you're not experienced, you're not going to understand. Right. And what I've learned as a pastor, listen. Just listen. See, a lot of pastors want to talk too much. Right. Listen to the heart of the people. Yeah. Right. So that's why as you can see, I'm not really answering questions like that because I don't know what they went through. Got it. And that's what we do. We crucify people before we know them. Yeah. Right. And well, Kanye is weird, and we hear so much, he's weird, and why is he doing this? Why is he doing? Well, I want to know. I want to ask him. Yeah. I don't want to assume.
Well, if he would do press with black people,
man, don't see.
Let me not.
I'm too hot right now for that. You might trend with that. All right, so I.
No, I'm kidding, man. Kanye hasn't done an interview with us in almost 20 years. I'm not gonna lie, and I would love to speak to him myself too, because and the same with Mace. You know, I want to talk to you, bro. Like, he'll shoot us a DM, and I'll be like, bro, and then never respond to it. I'm like, okay, we can't have a conversation about this. Like, you got a problem with me? Help me address the problem at least.
Right.
You know, so a lot of the rappers that we helped build, and, you know, that's in quotes, of course, but we support it in our way, don't speak to the black press anymore, unless it serves them, which is not really okay, actually. Now I think about it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I know you got things to do, but I gotta ask you, man, the drip, man. What are we wearing right now? What are we doing?
Oh shoot!
I came. I didn't even try today, right? I said I'm wearing no jewelry. I'm wearing a straight up t-shirt, not even a necklace. I said I'm not even trying today. I'm coming through just as regular as I can be. I just want to make sure my kicks were clean. And that's it. I said, there's no competing. I already do.
You know, I compete with myself.
You do?
Yeah, I compete with myself. I say to myself that I have to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's called maturity.
Yeah.
But you know, I like, you know, I like Fendi, man. I like Fendi. Yeah. So I have my. You probably not gonna see this this jacket, but I get exclusive stuff. So I got a Fendi jacket on. Yeah. Fendi shirt, Fendi sneakers, and I think some Zara jeans.
Okay,
and a Fendi belt. Yeah. So it's something light, a little light, you know, light day, man. It's a light day, man. Light Bishop Whitehead's day, man.
Right.
Oh, and my Christian Dior glasses.
Christian Dior, I was looking like, I remember Foxy used to have the belt.
The CD right there. Yeah, you know.
Foxy used to have the Christian Dior belt. Little inspiration there.
No,
that's you. That's all you.
Just me. That's all me. That's all me. You know, like I said, when I was sent to prison, right, illegally, right, you know how much they used to pay me?
No.
$1.27 a week.
Oh, in prison.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So people wasn't talking about me then.
Right.
Right. So why you talking about me now?
Right.
Right. Let me live my life.
Yeah.
Let me enjoy my life. When I walk in Fendi, I said, all right, cool. Come on, see what we got. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, right? If I came into a place, right, and you had the same shirt as me on, I'm taking my shirt off.
Right. I feel that.
That's the type of person I am.
Yeah.
So therefore, I say, okay, cool. Well, that's why my taste is high.
Right.
Because the chances of you having this is going to be very slim. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it's zero.
No. But I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just saying, if they did have this, then they really doing some stuff and they really have it. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, I get expensive stuff, but this is my style. I like the color. Like Fendi have certain colors, right? So it's not about it being Fendi or Gucci or Louis Vuitton, because I love all of them, and Christian Dior, but the color scheme, I like it. I like the color scheme, you know? So that's just me, you know? Yeah. Like this right here, I seen that's I need them.
Yeah,
I said I need them. This right here, you don't see nobody with these.
We just started a shoe cam. You know, Wendy Williams is off the air. So we said we're going to pick up the shoe cam thing, you know what I mean? So we're going to have to, you know, get a camera on your shoes.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I like these, man.
Yeah, see, I'm like, you know, I come from a pro-black not national. I don't want to use that word, but just public enemy back in the day. You know, that's my thing. And so I'm looking for actual designers that are, you know, luxury black-owned designers. Would you be open to that?
Or Tell me about that.
Just there's a lot of luxury black-owned designers that are luxury, but I can't name check them right now.
Yeah. So my thing is, somebody asked me, what is my favorite color, right? I don't have a favorite color.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wear my clothes color based off of how I pray.
Okay.
Literally.
How's that work?
It's a certain type of color that I have to wear.
Okay.
Through my prayer life.
Okay.
You know, like, to be honest, can I be honest with you? Why I was late, I had a wardrobe change, and there was a lot of traffic, so I had on black.
Yeah. And
I walked out, and my spirit just wasn't right.
Okay.
It wasn't right, so I had to go back and put a lighter color on.
Okay.
You know, and that's just how I move.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said I have to put something more lighter on. I don't want to wear black. I had all black on.
Got you.
You know, and I just didn't want to wear black. So therefore I said, you want to know what? Let me go back in here and let me switch up. And then I feel more comfortable.
Okay.
You know, because I don't like to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm open to all designers, man. I'm open to all designers. Yeah, man. You know, and another thing with me being spiritually, I'm colorblind.
Right.
So if you're a good person, you're a good person.
Okay.
You know, and I think that if we as an African American people will work together, we'll be able to understand and accept more cultures. But if we're divided, how can we stand?
Man, that's a bar right there. That's a bar.
Right.
Any final words for the people?
I just want everybody to pray for my church.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody that's ostracized in what happened, and because you don't like me, take me out of the equation and think about my church.
Yeah.
Think about the healing of my church, you know, and think about the houses of worship. What if that happened to your grandmother's church? And they say, well, their pastor's not flashy, but let's look at South Carolina. Right. You know, they walked into that church and killed 9 people in 2015. Let's look at Texas. They walked into that church and killed 26 people and wounded 20 people. Right. Their pastor wasn't flashy. Right. So their pastor wasn't wearing Fendi or Gucci or Louis Vuitton. No, I should be able to wear what I want to wear in the pulpit. So if you can't handle what I wear in the pulpit, that's all right. Bless you. But don't take the sympathy and the empathy from my church, because we're still healing. And let's work on protecting the houses of worship, whether it's a church, whether it's a masjid, whether it's a synagogue, whether it's whatever your faith is. Nobody should be able to run in there with guns and rob you.
True. Facts.
So that's
Bishop
what I'd say. Thank
Whitehead,
you so much.
Thank
brother.
you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Right.